I forgot to turn the thing off. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first ever live edition of the Canon Club. Make sure you guys are liking the video and subscribing to the channel and all those types of things. You guys asked for a live edition of the show, so we made sure that we delivered. And so, yeah, we're here. We were supposed to be here yesterday, but we wanted to make sure as many of us could be on here as possible. So, yeah, there's also a poll that you guys can vote on now. And let us know who you think is responsible for us being late. Is it Femi? Was it Laura? Was it Harry? Was it me? You guys know it wasn't me. Go ahead and vote on the poll and let us know what you guys are thinking. And yeah, you guys, we're here. We actually have not spoken since before Forest. So kind of have to do a little bit of a catch up on how everybody felt about that game. We'll also go into transfer deadline nonsense. Transfer window is closing today, and not much has been done. So we'll kind of talk about that and then gear up into the Liverpool conversation because, guys, spoiler alert, I'm shitting bricks. I'm nervous. I'm sorry. Like, watching them play Chelsea yesterday was like, oh my gosh, why are they looking so good? Is it just Anfield or not? So yeah, we're going to go ahead and pop into it. How we usually start the show is with one word description of how you're feeling about Arsenal at the moment. And so I'll start off with Laura. What is your one word for Arsenal right now?
I'm going to have to echo what you just said, Jess, which is nervous. I'm nervous. I know we're going to talk about the Nottingham game, and I we played well in aspects of it, but I also watched Liverpool yesterday and found myself thinking, oh, just let this weekend be over with. Let's just get it done. Let's get it out of the way. Let's crack on. So I am nervous, not just the Liverpool game, but for the rest of the season as well. I feel like there's just something still not clicking with this team. And obviously we've not gone out and reinforced in January. So my nervousness is from, I'm not sure what is going to change in the upcoming games to suggest that, we're really going to start playing better than we are. Not that we're playing badly, but this Liverpool team is going to need close to perfection to beating, same as City. And I'm feeling pretty nervous about that challenge.
Harry, one word.
Hello, everyone. My one word or two words are we're back. I think we're back. I enjoyed the Forest game. I actually really enjoyed the Forest game, minus the poor finishing. But I thought we looked pretty sharp. I thought it was really good to see ESR start, which was the total opposite to what I predicted. So I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling confident ahead of Sunday. And I think we're back. I think we're back, guys.
Femi, one word.
Excited. I'm excited because someone like me, I just live for the big games. I don't remember the last time I was excited going to any big game before like 2022. I'll be real with you. Like I'm looking forward. I have there's a specific, it's the away black jersey that it's in my room right now sitting. No one will touch it from now till the game. And when the game comes, I will wear that jersey with all its glory. I will go to my friend's house. We're going to get drunk as hell. We're going to go to a bar, and it's going to be the greatest day of my life I'll say this year, because I know we're going to win. So, yeah.
Damn. I want to be Harry right now, or Femi. Like, I'm not there. I don't know why.
No.
We're not Chelsea, so I know we're not going to get stomped the way that they did. And it could have been way worse for Chelsea. Let's be serious. Like, it really could have been like 5-0 in the first half. It's just, I'm glad that we don't have to go to Anfield again. We know things are different at the Emirates, but I'm just not feeling that confident. But let's roll things back a little bit, because we played against Nottm Forest. We beat them 2-1. We were very close to getting the Laura special, which is an easy 2-0 win, get in, get out. But we just had to mess it up and do it the Arsenal way and make it more difficult. So we're not going to go really through the Forest game because we have so many things to get through. But I wanted to ask you guys, if you could name one good thing and one bad thing about that game, what would they be? Just so we could get a little summary of how you guys are feeling about post-Forest, how Arsenal look to you. I'll actually go to Femi first on this one.
Good thing. ESR. I'm gonna just steal it from one of you two because I know you guys are gonna say it, so I'm gonna say it first. ESR. Yeah, no, I liked again, like I like the fact that like that left LCM role. It's like now we have like 3 different players who do 3 different things, which is like to me, I'm just the big solutions guy. I just love like, oh man, how many tools do we have? And it's like to have ESR be kind of that like guy in the middle, and he's just kind of like I don't know how to explain it because it's more art than it is words. It's just kind of like the ball comes to him and somehow some way within the next 4 to 5 seconds it's like okay, midfield stuff, let's go. And somehow so when you blink and then the ball's in the final third and it's just clean. And I like that versus like, you know, having Jorginho who's a bit more conservative with the positioning, but he's going to do the long passes, he's going to, you know, fling the ball forward. You have Rice, you can do the shuttering thing. We have all these different pieces, which is I don't think a lot of other teams have these type of weapons to their disposal. So oh no, that's good to me. Bad. Since there's a live audience, I would love to rattle some people. Martinelli, it's you got that, it's still not there. What's going on? Like, I don't want to be that guy. But if we're gonna say, hey, there was more support. I saw he's using the left wing. I saw overlaps. I saw ESR on the side. Lowest XG and XA all season. Lowest. Like it and we can say it was a low block. I was told that when we were against Sheffield, hey, they're Sheffield. It doesn't matter. Even though we put four goals in the net, hey, who gives a damn? They're the worst. If that's the case, I'm just saying things need to get better. Things have to get better because we're going into the run-in, and this is not going to be the last time we see low blocks. This is not going to be the last time teams are going to sit deep against us, and we need him more than anyone else. I'm not even joking. We need him. So that's my 2.
You can't say I don't want to be that guy and then be that guy for the next 30 seconds. Like, just don't say it. Just be like, I'm going to be that guy, and I don't care.
I don't want to. I don't want to though.
You do.
Femi's perfect deflection tactic is Martinelli. Perfect deflection, but you cannot deflect away. I'm sorry. Like, ESR definitely could be looked at as a positive, but I'll be honest, I didn't see much of a difference in the left center mid position with ESR there. And so, yes, Emilians, come for me. It's fine. I know that you guys hate when I say things like this, but personally, I didn't see much of a difference in the position. I think no matter who plays there, it's relatively the same. They may have different qualities, but the left center mid is basically a graveyard shift. You're just there to just do a little, 1-2 here and there. You're kind of like just an extra body. I didn't see much of a difference. I think the tactical part of the left center mid is more of an issue than the actual person that's in it. I don't see anything different. Laura, did you see anything different with ESR in that position? Or did you feel like it was the same?
I think it was slightly better. I actually agree with Femi in terms of when he gets the ball, he has this kind of like way of running with it where he glides with it past defenders. And I think that essentially speeds up the play a little bit. But people are like losing their minds a little bit about how great it was. And I don't think it was that good, if I'm honest. Like, we're still trying to do the same thing. He's just a different player in that system.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't see anything different. I just feel like it's just a role that's just kind of there. It's not like Xhaka's there where he was like so involved with everything. That player to me is not as involved. Not that I don't think ESR had a bad game. I just didn't see much of a difference. Harry, what is your one positive, one negative about Forest?
Well, yeah, so I was going to go with ESR, but Femi took that. So I'm going to go with Zinchenko. I thought Zinchenko looked back to his best. Some of the passes through the lines were great. He just looked more confident. I've seen him criticised for maybe dwelling on the ball, but I actually really like that because it's not like a Havertz when he dwells on the ball and he really slows things down. It's like Zinchenko's trying to wait for that perfect pass or get the perfect moment. So I actually thought Zinchenko had a really good game, minus getting caught underneath the ball for the goal. I think it was just good to see him looking like his usual self. And he's been under a lot of criticism this season. And I think it's just down to more of a fitness thing rather than a quality thing. We know he has some defensive issues, but the goods outweigh that massively. And I think sometimes we forget that. Like, our only title challenge or realistic title challenge in the past 10, 15 seasons was because of Zinchenko and Jesus. And even I forget that myself. So Zinchenko is critical to how Arteta wants us to play. Of course, if we had a different left back, he might give us something different, i.e. Kieran Tierney. But we have Zinchenko because Arteta wants to play with Zinchenko inverted. And when he's on song, even though it's against Forest, he's one of the best in the league, in my opinion, at doing that role. And then my negative would be, to go with the goal conceded. I'm not going to say we have to stop it, because I've said that like 10 games out of the 18 this season. So it's just us. We just concede stupid goals, avoidable goals, which is the most annoying thing. And I've watched that goal back, and I was trying to think, because I was trying to figure out why Zinchenko and Ben White had some beef, and I was trying to work out why. So I looked at the goal, and really, obviously Zinchenko gets caught under the ball, but the guy who makes the pass has like a few touches before he makes that ball. So Eddie Nketiah probably could have pressed him a little bit quicker, and then Zinchenko gets caught under it. And then Saliba, who had a few of those moments in that game where he kind of thinks, I'm bigger and better than you, so I'm going to use my body, and then he forgets about actually defending the moment. And I think Saliba was really, really poor in that moment. So yeah, goals conceded. I mean, they've been happening all season. Are they going to stop? I'm not sure they are. And if that's the case, we need to make sure we are going 3 or 4-0 up, because the referee found a way to add a couple of minutes injury time in that game. And we were going into like corners and stuff and shots on target in the last minute. And I don't like that, because that is squeaky bum time. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. Laura, one good thing, one bad thing?
I think Saka had a better game than like we've seen previously. I still don't think he's kind of as dangerous as we've sort of known him to be, but I think he looks a little bit sharper. I think that move that was started on that side that finished with, I think, Jesus smashing it against the post was a really nice like interplay that kind of harks back to where we want him to be. I'm gonna have to agree with Harry on the goal as my bad thing, because Jess, you know this, that I put in our WhatsApp group about 3 minutes before that goal was scored. Do we think Arsenal are going to concede here to make it a nervous last 10 minutes? And boom, it happened. And I just feel like we've seen this so many times, and it's something I get so frustrated about, because it's so unnecessary. And it really just, for the last 10 minutes, I can hardly watch, because I'm just like, we were fine. We were cruising to a 2-0 victory, clean sheet. And now I'm watching them take a corner in the 93rd minute, thinking, is Raya going to come out and flap at this? Are we going to concede another set piece? Like, just stop it. That's all I say. Just stop it.
Yeah. I had to close my eyes. I was like, I can't watch this. They're stressing me out too much. And I'm glad that obviously, like, we didn't concede that second one, and we looked to be able to see out the game pretty well. I think a big part of that was Trossard, because when he came on, he had like a level of like calmness. Even when we conceded, he got the ball and just kept it. And I was like, go to the corner.
Yeah, and he
didn't really go to the corner, but he kept the ball. And I was like, that's all we really need. But I want to like piggyback off of that, because Hugo said one good thing, Zinni and Benny bust up, and that's actually what I wrote down. I thought my main good thing was that they are going to hold each other accountable for the nonsense, because as much as I love Zinchenko, I think he's a fantastic player on the ball. He tends to have a mental lapse almost every single game, whether we get punished for it or not. It just depends on the quality of the team and whether or not they get the luck. And Nottingham Forest definitely got the luck. A lot had to happen after Zinchenko did not hold the line to make that goal happen. But he has to hold the line. He just has to. I don't know if he's afraid of the speed of whoever it is on that side, but he needs to hold the line. And I think it's been like maybe 2 or 3 times where we've conceded off of the back of him doing that. So yeah, I like that Ben, was ready to basically like fight, because it's like, listen, that was supposed to be a clean sheet, easy day out. And it just ended up being a little bit more nerve-wracking than it needed to be. And if we're going to win things, they have to hold themselves accountable. My one bad thing is probably our final ball. When I rewatched the game, I just felt like in the first half, we had several opportunities where we had opened them up. And had we had just look up, passed it to the person that was there, probably would have scored a goal, but it just seemed like it was like, okay, I see someone, so I'm going to pass it that way instead, or delay, or whatever. And I'm just like, guys, the final ball has to be so much better if we're going to score more goals, especially because you don't get as many clear-cut opportunities against deep blocks. So overall, we got what we needed to get. We went out and got the 3 points. I still feel like it was slightly unconvincing in a way. I guess it was because the goal at the end and the fact that we weren't playing free flowing, but it kind of is, what it is. And so we have to move on and go to the next game. But before we do that, obviously it is transfer deadline day. Arsenal didn't do anything in terms of incomings. We didn't do anything in the market really, except for let some youngsters go. Is anybody like deeply disappointed that we didn't bring anybody in? Was there any like feeling that that you thought that we would? I know, Harry, we've spoken about it multiple times. It's like we have to do something in this window, to give the team a boost. Are you disappointed that we didn't actually do anything? Are you surprised?
It's hard because obviously, when we speak, it's a bit more emotional because it's after a particular game. So at that time, I felt like, we need something. But then after the Forest game, I thought Jesus had a good game. I thought ESR looked pretty promising. So suddenly I'm like, we've got options again. And I looked at our bench and thinking, yeah, we've got some attacking depth again. And Trossard had a good cameo. So I'm probably less emotional or annoyed about it as I was last week. I'd still love us to bring a striker in, something different. But it's not going to happen, and we can see that. So there's no point crying about it, right? I would have loved to have a plan B off the bench, but it seems like we're going to wait for the summer, which is fine. So I fully expect us to go in for a Tony or an Eze, and then I'll be happy. And now we have to ride out with what we've got. So yeah, we'll see if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Touch wood, we can stay away from any long-term injuries, and then we've got a good squad with Partey and Timber to come back. So yeah, a little bit disappointed that we haven't signed anyone, but not surprised. Absolutely gutted that some of the youngsters have left us as well. Absolutely gutted about that. Really struggled to sleep over that sort of thing. I'm being sarcastic, but
we're going to talk about that too. I know you're being sarcastic, but we have to talk about the youngster meltdown thing. But John P was saying, I was hoping for a defender fullback, and we're very thin. Well, you'll be happy to know that Cedric survived another call. He's survived
of course,
another transfer window.
He's living the dream. He is living the dream. He's $100,000 a week to warm up for 3 minutes at the Emirates every week.
Free gym membership. He's in the gym every week.
Gets
to tell stories about Cristiano Ronaldo. He's loving life. Absolutely loving life.
When I saw Serge Aurier was going to Galatasaray, I was like, wow, we really seriously could not get Cedric out. Like, it's not happening. So we get to see him in more random pictures with Martinelli and Fabio Vieira, because that's the only time I ever see him doing anything is when he's hanging out with them. Femi, how are you feeling about the transfer window? You good?
It's like, I think it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, how do I explain it? It's like you watch other teams get like point deductions and you're like, okay, they're actually being serious about FFP. Oh, okay. I guess like now we care. Now people are getting punished. Now it's okay. So it's like, I'm like, okay, we're doing the right thing, I guess, staying within the boundaries, but it's like, guys, not one, like just something for us. Like we've dealt through a lot in December. We went through a lot. You couldn't squeeze.
But what would you have wanted? Like, what would you have wanted?
I'd say I agree with the defender talk. I know people are gonna get on me, but like I'm so like I don't know what happens if we lose either Ben White or Saliba again. Like I don't see like where we go. Like whatever expectations I have drops one if one of those two go down. So that kind of scares me. We don't know Timber's like rehab process. We have no idea. Like, I mean, we hear good things, but like that's still in limbo. So we can't really depend on that. Gabriel, even though he's a warrior, what happens if something happens to him? Like we have just 5 players to fill 4 roles. It's I don't know. It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah, because we don't know what shape Tomiyasu is going to come back in. And I know it's like We all love Tommy. I'm obsessed with Tommy, but he's brittle like biscuits, you know? So it's like, okay, what's going to happen when he comes back? So we don't.
Wait, sorry. I just thought about it. There's space for the academy players.
I mean, Demi, do you want to host? You want to host? Because that is exactly where I'm going. Do you want to
Sorry, can I just
No,
say,
you're good.
someone in the chat just put Cedric probably has a 9 to 5 somewhere.
He probably does.
He's like coming to training, having done a full day of like work at KPMG or Deloitte. He's like an auditor or something.
Not Arsenal being his side hustle.
Yes.
I just go in there a couple of days a week, collect like
wow.
a full
Yeah.
salary.
He's watching money. He's
I've
watching
just
money.
yeah,
Oh, no.
I've turned my hobby into a good job.
Not a
Lots of
hobby.
people get paid for
I'm
it.
dead. Part-time footballer, no big deal. You know, part-time celebrator. Cedric is freaking hilarious. I'm sure he's a good guy and everything, but obviously he won't be here at the end of this will be the end. But I guess if I was him as well, like I'd hold on because whatever next contract he's getting is not going to be what he's getting at Arsenal. Like, let's be serious. But before I was so rudely interrupted by somebody, you know, I'm just joking. But listen, this is why it's like, okay, Arteta, this is here. Okay, Mikel, if you feel like we have one of the thinnest squads in the league, which is what you said that, then why are you not using everything to your disposal? This is, I feel like, why nobody's listening to Mikel, because he spends he's like on Rodeo Drive spending so much money. Like he has daddy's credit card and he's just out here bling, 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 bling in the summer, spending. And then when we get to the January transfer window, he's like, well, I got a thin squad. I ain't got enough. And it's like, but listen, you spent the money. How do you not have enough? And not to mention, you won't use anybody from the academy. Now, I know a lot of people were upset about Sousa. And I know that because all my group chats were like, Sousa. I don't know much about Sousa. I can't vouch for him in terms of was he going to make it? But he didn't really get a chance. Is anybody, I know Harry's not, but is anybody a little bit like, could we have kept them around? You know, could we have, seen them a little bit more? Should Arteta be
No.
using the academy players?
No.
Like, is this a thing or are people just upset because it's something to like bash Mikel over the head with, you know?
I think people, sorry, Laura, you go.
No, go ahead. All I was going to say is everyone's obsessed with Hale End FC. And great, we've got some incredible success stories, but for every success story that makes it into the Premier League and is a start, there are 20 examples of where they were not good enough. Yeah. And just constantly being like, well, we should try the academy kids. I am a bit like, maybe I'm naive to think this, but if they were good enough, they probably would have been called up. They're clearly not, so we've let them go. Like you, Jess, I just don't know enough about these players, but I think just by the fact that they're academy kids and thinking that means that they get a shot at the first team. I'm like, this is not a team that's mid-table. This is a team that's going up against City and Liverpool. You can't stick a 19-year-old in there who has never played in the Premier League. It's just absurd. But yeah, it's an easy complaint.
Yeah, I think people are a little bit bored. I think if they follow Hale End closely, which I'll be honest with you, I don't. I find supporting the Arsenal first team stressful enough, so I'm not going to give myself additional stress. But if they follow these players and they'll see good performances, they'll have, this thing where, I want to see them make their way to the first team, and they don't. But so Aston Villa have signed him and they've loaned him to a championship club. So he's clearly not ready for the Premier League yet, and he might go on to be ready for the Premier League. Mm-hmm. But what does keeping a player around that won't sign a new contract do, and who Arteta doesn't think is good enough? Like, why would 10 minutes away at PSV change anything? Like, what does it matter? What's that going to do for him? What's that going to do for us? And when we talk about standards, right, which is what everyone kind of brings back to us about us being the best again, then surely only the very, very best are going to make it through to the first team. Like the very, very best. If we're going for the title to beat Man City and beat Liverpool, then in Arteta's eyes, it's the very, very, very best. And it's not just about ability, it's about attitude, and it's about committing to the club. So if you've got a player who is a bit unsure or wants that reward before he earns it, then Arteta might think, well, you know what? You can go. And that's probably where we're at. And look at Nweri. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name right. Ethan Nweri.
Yeah.
Nwaneri, yeah.
I know where
But he got
it
he got like the 15-minute cameo at Brentford, right? So we could kind of say like, look, you'll be part of our future. Please sign our contract.
Arteta's so shady for that too. It's like,
Yeah, but obviously,
never
exactly.
using you again.
It's all like PR in that sense. For a manager, you want
Mhm.
to keep as many youth players as you can. You want to tie them into contracts for as long as you can to boost their value up, to sell them. It's all a game. But in this case, the guy's had an offer from somewhere else, and he sees his way of getting some minutes, and that's it. Like, I'm certainly not going to cry about a player who has not made a first team appearance. And we've seen players like Patino, and go back to the likes of Fran Merida, and all these players who've got the brightest futures, and they don't make the grade. And I'll tell you what's interesting. One more thing. Go look at the 2009-2010 Arsenal FA Cup winning team. FA Youth Cup winning team. Half of those guys have retired, and maybe one of them's playing Premier League football now. And maybe Chuba Akpom's going to get himself a move to Forest. But, I mean, otherwise, everyone else is playing non-league football. Craig Eastman, Giles Sanu, Frimpong retired. So we've got to be honest and realistic with it, and we can't just cry for the sake of crying. Like, come on, man.
No, I think like there's a couple of different ways to think about this, but I did see a tweet. I think it was from Sash. Sash was saying like, has there ever been a youth player that's left like recently that, we felt like we made a mistake? No.
Yeah.
Even with
Yes.
Balogun being like as good as I feel like Balogun is a good player, he hasn't scored in 15 games. He scored 1 in 15 games. Like nobody's really talking about him. We sold him for 30 million. So unless you are, here's the thing. It's like, do you actually believe we have a Miley or a Kobe Mainu or a Bob or any of these people types in our academy? We don't know, but I think a lot of people would assume, and I think Colleen said this, that if there was, they would be in. They would be in. Like, why would Arteta cut his nose off to spite his face? But I feel like there is a lot of questions because people do not trust Mikel Arteta, and that's all. I think there's a distrust, so they
that's what it
think
comes
that there's
down to.
an Ashley Cole in the academy that he's just not seeing. I think that's where it comes from.
But I think I'd liken it to when we see players like, don't want to dig out Fabio Vieira, but you see them in a different environment and they play really, really well, and you think they can replicate it. You're seeing these players in an under 21 environment, at a youth level environment, and the step up is huge, which is why there's such a small list of players that make that step up. And I'd argue, what does token minutes do to a player? Like, what does that give to a player? What do we gain from that? Does it raise their ceiling? Does it put them in the shopping window? Does anyone remember Olympiacos away like 10 years ago when Wenger started Tom Cruise left back and Cole Bartley left back or centre back? Like, what did that do for their value? It done nothing for their value. So unless they're going to play like repeatedly and get cameos repeatedly, then that's going to boost their value. But we're going for the title, or we're trying to go for the title. And we can't just give out minutes, especially when you have experienced players on the bench who also need minutes. So when you have a Reece Nelson on the bench who needs minutes, and Nketiah who needs minutes, Tomiyasu who needs minutes, you have to bring those players and you have to prioritise those players because they're the players that come crunch time probably going to be the players that help you, as opposed to a 18, 19-year-old left back.
Yeah, no, I get what I totally get what you're saying. Like, I think my only little, like, if I had a little gripe would just be like, if we want to sell these players, and I know it's difficult because you have to get them to agree to sign a new deal in order to loan them out. And I think that's what's happening is we have to sell quite a few of these players because they weren't able to agree on a new contract. So obviously both parties have to agree. But I would have loved to see Arsenal be able to get Lino Sousa on a new deal and then loan him out. And then so instead of selling him for a nominal fee, we would be getting whatever fee Aston Villa is going to get. That's my only small gripe. My gripe is not Lino Sousa needs to be freaking starting because I don't think he's going to be good enough. I don't. Like, I don't see it, But maybe we have to just accept that our Kobe Mainu, our freaking Lewis Miley is already in our team. We have Saka. They only come like once a generation. I do think that people have a weird like thought that like the only reason why Willick and them were in the in the team for so long is because we were so shit. Like we were. That's the only reason why they were in the team for so long. It wasn't because they were just amazing. It was because we were shit. The better the team gets, the less likely are to make it through. And we talked about like the older team. and I think Harry touched on this as well, is that like if you weren't Ashley Cole or like Tony Adams, you weren't making it. Think about how like what a high level that team was at. So unless we got one of those, they're not coming. They're not making
I'll put it into perspective. I remember the last, I would say, year that Nketiah was in the academy, and he was scoring braces every game. Like, it was actually ridiculous how many times you would look at the academy game. He's like, "Oh my God, goal, 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 goal." You'd just be sitting there, like, "Yeah, he's not." And we're not seeing that now from anyone. Like, it's like that, like the level. And if we feel like Nketiah is not good enough, and Nketiah was bossing the academy, mind you, like the way people talk, you would think that we're like the youth, like, triple back to back to back youth cup title winning like academy. You would think. I went to look at the standings, but we're not that good. Like, we're okay. Like, I've seen some like, but we haven't been like a top like academy for, and I feel like that's probably more of the conversation we need to have is Arsenal, like, where does Arsenal rank with the academies of the world? And that may lead to uncomfortable conversations. We're just probably just not where we think we are right now in the world, which sucks, but that also comes with being better. When you are better, you start winning titles, you start attracting younger players, you can start buying, little players here and there, like being able to like do what Man City does, where it's like, okay, for 15 million, because of the fact that we have a team so stacked, we can spend 20 million for some 15-year-old from Argentina. Hell yeah, let's do it. Why not? We're title winners. But like now it's like we have to penny pinch because we still haven't finished building our squad. So it's just, I don't know, man. I just, like I said it, I tweeted the other day, we just cry about youth, cry about loans, cry about chances, we just cry. It's just a fan base that likes to cry. And I'm attacked for telling people that like, maybe we're just crying. Maybe.
maybe we're just upset. It's the truth. I mean, we'll cry about anything for sure. I think there's definitely some a point to what Femi is saying about the academy. Maybe is a place where they can improve. So we are creating the type of talent that could come into the first team. I would guess that our academy is not amazing. That would be my guess. But yeah, I don't think it's anything that needs to be like this big of a bone of contention. I do feel like some people woke up, saw Lino Sousa gone to Aston Villa, and was like, yes, I get to bitch today. I feel like that's what it was. So there you go. There's 140 of you guys in here. Make sure you guys are smashing the likes. Now, to the important convo. The title race and Liverpool on Sunday. Here we go. Now, Femi and Harry are confident. Laura and Jess are not. So we're split here. Watching Liverpool play lately, I just feel like they're gearing up for some nonsense Klopp's going. So we're just gonna start giving them things. Like I said, I'm glad we're not going back to Anfield. So, playing them at home is definitely going to be an advantage. We've played them twice already this season. So, one, I think the draw at Anfield was great. I thought we played amazing. Then we had the weird one at home where we were incredibly dominant and just could not score a goal and then conceded two. So, we owe them, but it feels like they're going strength for strength. I want to just ask plainly before we get started on the actual preview, if we don't win this game, is our title hope over? Because I'm seeing that we're getting to that conversation where it's like, well, if we don't win this, it's over. Harry, what's your feeling on that? If we were to walk away from the game on Sunday and we'll have lost and given those 3 points away to Liverpool, is our title hope? Is it over? Is it done?
Yeah, I'd say it's done if we don't win. Sorry, if we get a draw, I think we're still in it, but it's going to be really, really hard. I think that Klopp factor that you've mentioned, it goes both ways. And I saw some tweets when Klopp announced that he was leaving that, the squad might be demotivated now. They might be thinking about next season. But I think it's probably going to go the opposite, just simply because when Liverpool United, they're a force. So I think, yeah, we have to win. And if we don't, I think it's going to be really, really hard. It's going to be really hard to win the league anyway, especially with Man City and Liverpool now looking like they've found some balls. So yeah, I'd say lose and it's top four.
Laura?
and Champions League
Oh,
trophy instead.
Sorry, Laura, thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Harry, and I think if they come to the Emirates and win again, that will also, it does as much damage to our title hopes as it does bolster theirs, because they will be incredible, confident going into their next couple of games because they've beaten us at home. And I just think that could be the start of where they kind of really motor on. And I think, Jess, you tweeted something the other day about how Liverpool play and their attack being very intentional. Ours feels slightly more hesitant and disjointed, whereas Liverpool are always so intentional with what they're doing. And that's what essentially is what I'm nervous about. And if they win on Sunday, that will only just kind of go from strength to strength. So a draw I can take. It's not ideal, but yeah, we really can't lose.
Femi, what do you think?
I agree with both of them. I don't know. I looked at this one graphic where it's like the biggest bottlers, and then you'd see that people weren't like, it's like 8 points is just a lot to come back from. It was like 7 or 8 points is just a lot, because it's like you're riding on multiple games of not just them losing, but then us capitalizing on those moments. It's like, granted, Liverpool does have like I think there's until it gets what's it called? Until it gets rescheduled, I believe it should. I think from like February 23rd through like March 1st or something like that. Liverpool has like 4 games in a week. Like, it's like, especially because of the fact that like they're still in like every competition, which is like, yay Liverpool, but it's also like, do you guys have the bodies for that? Like, you're gonna have to.
I feel like they do, Femi.
I was just about to say that.
I feel like, and also because they're like midfield 3 is almost a simpler midfield 3 where there's not like a particularly creative player. They can all kind of come in and just do that job. So Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, but they can all just like rotate, and then their front 3 are all kind of at the similar level. Like, none of them are really prolific. I mean, obviously Jota and Salah are, but the rest they just rotate. So I know what you're saying, but they have options, and then Bradley's come in and really impressed. I think centre half is probably where they're weaker, but because all of their other players are firing, they can kind of cover up with a youth player in the back line. So yeah, I know what you're saying. Now, I've seen that fixture pattern. I thought, right, if they're going to slip up, it might be there. But
it's like, if it was to happen, it's just more.
It was going to happen there.
If it was going to, it's like it's congested. But outside of that, like, I don't know. Like, I remember what I saw that first half of that Liverpool game. It's still fresh in my head. I just think that we just need to remember that, like, I think the players, as well as are telling them, they also know how critical this game is, and I just, something is just telling me in my heart, and maybe it's just hope, maybe it's just copium.
I mean, you have to have a little bit of it. You have to have a little bit of hopium. Like, there's no point, like, if you don't have a little bit. And if we were to win on Sunday, I would start to be in Delulu again. I would. Like, it just takes one win to start getting you thinking that you're going to do something a la Bournemouth. Like, it just takes one. My problem is that, like, I just don't see how we're going to, like, with Liverpool, they're going to, how are we going to stop them from scoring and score more? Like, their attack is better, but I don't know if our defense is as strong as it was at the beginning of the season. I don't know if we can keep them out.
What if you saw Partey? What if you saw Partey in the lineup?
Oh, he's not going to start though, is he? Come on.
I'm just asking. What if you saw it? What if you did? What if you saw it there?
Yeah, but that's like saying, what if I saw Vieira in the lineup? He's not going to play, is he?
As in Fabio?
Yeah, that's about Fabio, not Fabio. No, Vieira, not Fabio. Vieira. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I mean, the what if is a pointless what if. I would not say what if. If we saw Fabio Vieira in the lineup, then I know what's going to happen. But I think Patrick Vieira. I'd say it's almost like calmness versus chaos, and I feel like we are the calm team in possession. I think we forget that at Anfield we had some really good moments where Liverpool couldn't get the ball off us, and we were popping it about really well. And in the FA Cup game, I mean, we played really well in that game. We just didn't take our chances, but we played really, really well. So I think we have the upper hand over Liverpool. I think Arteta has improved us so much more against big teams. We're so much better. Against Man City and against Liverpool. So I'm confident, and I totally appreciate that we should be scared of Liverpool because they have so many attacking options. But if we do what we do well, which is keep the ball and work those combinations, Odegaard to Saka, I think we'll generate chances, and then we have to take those chances. If we make it an end-to-end open game, I think that's really dangerous for us. But if
We
we can get
can't
that
concede
first,
first.
no, we
cannot
can't. We
concede
can't.
first.
It sounds silly, but
Uh,
we have to win the kickoff, and we have to keep the ball like for 5
Yeah.
minutes. You know, we
Yeah.
have to like take out any positivity that they've got, and almost be like, right, this is our home ground. Come get the ball of us. You know, we're at home, and we're going to beat you, rather than just being all emotional and crazy. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. I think we're going to do it, man. I think we're going to do it. I believe.
Jess, are we going to talk about the elephant in the room here?
Salah
Yes.
running around on the pitch
Yes.
after Klopp is like, no,
Femi-
he won't be fit.
Yeah.
A dead clock is right twice a day, man. I don't know what to say.
He's not going to play. There's no way.
There's no way he's going to play. He's definitely going to play. He's
No
definitely going to
way.
play.
No way.
I hope.
Do you
I hope
reckon?
the way I
Yeah.
hope he re-injures that injury so bad. Now, no offense to the injury gods, and I'm trying to be
Femi,
polite, but I'm so
now
sorry.
now one of our
sorry.
players is going to get injured. That's
Not-
bad juju.
Sorry.
I mean, if Salah plays, then I love Zinchenko, but you have to
Yeah.
find something
Yeah.
else. You do, because it's
What-
just obvious what happens.
I would say like it's guaranteed. So I already I'm like it's guaranteed that they score, and it's guaranteed that it'll come off of that side. That's I already have put that into the okay, they're gonna score, but it just cannot be first. I just don't think that we can concede first. We have to score first or keep it close. Like there's just no way. But I just hate going into these games feeling like we can't just do our thing. Like I feel like we have to be like all constrained and all I hate these games so much.
Jess, that's a you problem. That's a you issue. I don't think we're going to be constrained. I think we are going to be free and expressive. I think Arteta is going to say to the boys, show them what it's about. Honestly, I get the nervousness totally, but go back to the FA Cup game and go back to the recent games against Liverpool. We've definitely showed them that we are a strong team, 100%. And I think Nottm Forest should give us a lot of confidence. I know it's only Forest, but Saka looked back to his best. Jesus looked sharper. So yeah, be confident, Jess. Believe. If you believe, you can achieve.
You believe in love after love.
Exactly.
I will believe. I will try to believe. So I had kind of come up with what I feel like are the biggest matchups in the game. And then, so we'll go around and you guys will let me know what you think. So the three options are these are the most important matchups. Zinchenko versus whoever. Martinelli versus Trent. I feel like Trent will start. Or Klopp versus Arteta. Which is the most important matchup? Which is the matchup that we have got to win? Femi.
It's always
There's
the
no right
question.
answer.
Yeah, it's the question I'm always overthinking. Is the one you always call me first.
Good.
I know it's not Klopp and Arteta. That doesn't even concern me right now. I think it's the Zinni one because it's like
It's always
it's not even because it's always Zinni. I just think it's like this you spend the money you did on Timber for this reason. This is like the game. Like we bought him for this game. That's just the truth, and it sucks because it's like we usually need like I watched the Fulham game and what we look like when we don't start Zinchenko. It sucks. I'm sorry that we do not look good without him, but at the same time, it's like out of all of our defenders, he's our worst defender. That's the best way to examine it. Not saying he's the worst defender in the Premier League, but we have an elite defense, and when you have a team of elite players in a specific position, and you're the worst, it's very much more apparent. So it's like it just sucks because more than likely, and I specifically am going to I saw how Jota was completely obliterating Chilwell. Like the way he was like there was moments where like he was man marking him and Jota kind of was like, please move, I'm trying to score, and he like one hand just like throws him back to the halfway line, and I'm like, oh God, Zinni, I'm praying for you. Like, because it's that matchup.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel like we need a minute silence for Chelsea because I don't want to digress too much, but my God. That Jota goal was like when Firmino ran through. Do you remember against David Luiz? Was it Socrates and Mustafi? And everyone kind of just fell over. When watched Jota just like bundled his way through. I mean, I really felt for Thiago Silva out there because he was struggling. I mean, I know people criticize Arteta transfers and whatnot, but if you want to see how to waste a hell of a lot of money, then just look at Chelsea, because that is a mess. But on Zinchenko, yeah, I agree. I think recently at Anfield we've been doing this thing when Salah plays that Gabriel kind of goes out to left back, right? And kind of swaps with Zinchenko a little bit, and then almost goes man to man for Salah. I don't know if that's something that we'll do. Unfortunately, Liverpool have got like three, I don't want to say erratic forwards, but yeah, three like spontaneous forwards who just cause chaos and will just shift and shoot and just keep shooting and keep shooting. So yeah, we have to do something defensively. But Zinchenko is going to start. I'm pretty sure of that, because Tomiyasu and Timber aren't available. So it's just about helping him and just try not to leave him isolated, and yeah, make sure those transitions, those quick balls out, are either stopped, and if it's looping up in the air, then Gabriel maybe gets closer to Zinchenko and we try and help him rather than leaving him one-on-one, because it's a psychological thing now, right? The winger doesn't even have to do a trick. They can just kind of just like, Zinchenko's so nervous, whatever they do, they'll just get through him, and he knows it as well, and we know it. It's so obvious. So you've got to do something to prevent it however you can.
Sorry. That was such a good comment. I'm sorry. Emmanuel said crackheads. And I was like, damn, that's cool. We do not look like crackheads up here. But then he was like, the name for it is crackheads. Liverpool's front line are three chaotic trips.
Okay, is it bad that like I forgot to tell you guys my name is Emmanuel, so that's me in the comments?
Oh,
That's
What?
you.
that's you.
This is
that's
you?
I swear.
Nah, this ain't you.
No.
You got two names, Femi. You got two names.
I'll explain it in another episode.
Oh,
Okay,
so
you
this
like
is
Puff-
you.
you like Puff
Okay.
Daddy.
Oh,
Right,
it
you
is
like Puff Daddy.
you.
Take that back.
It is
Sorry.
you. Crackheads.
You're
Oh
nothing
my
like Puff Daddy.
Crackheads. No, Femi, that was good. Because at first I was like, damn, now you're calling us crackheads? What did we do? Like, we didn't do anything. But it's true. Like, I just feel like their attack is going. Our attack is not going. Still, in my opinion, we're not going yet. Like, we're not really going the way that we should be. And then defensively, of course they have gaps, but are we going to be able to exploit those gaps? And they still have Allison and they have this and that, so I'm feeling some type of way. But Laura, do you agree that the most important matchup is Zinchenko versus whoever's going to be on his side, whether it's because it was Jota against Chilwell, and whew, that was not fun.
I feel like Jota loves a goal against us, and I think my biggest
Yes.
concern is us stopping them scoring. The one thing I will say about Martinelli, Femi, okay, just leave my guy alone just for 2 seconds. I think I remember him having a good time against Liverpool in the home fixture last season. I feel like he was rocking and rolling, and he was.
And away,
that's where.
too.
Yeah. So let's just hope that he can remember that he is that guy. Yeah, Femi, go. Because I can see you wanting to come in there. Let's have it.
I am worried that Klopp is going to do the exact same thing he did the past 2 games, which is allow Trent, go do your thing up top, and then just move Konate over and then just stick next to him. And that's my fear. And it's like in those type of games, ask anyone. I'm not on the, oh my God, it's Martinelli. He's so no. That one, it makes sense because that Konate guy is a freak of nature. It's so annoying how he's just a type of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear you, and I just hope that he finds space, because I don't even blame him. It's a tough task. It's a tough task.
The problem that we have is I feel like our wingers don't particularly do well against the center backy types that come out there. So like you guys said, Konate is definitely going to handle that side of things. And people are saying it's going to be Connor Bradley. I'm sorry. I'm done with the season if Martinelli gets locked up by the kid. I don't care if he looks like a generational talent. Do not get locked up by this child. Don't come home, Martinelli. Please do not get cooked by this kid. I will not survive it. I just won't. He's a child, okay? But if it's Konate is going to come over and do his thing, he just is, And then on the other side, it'll probably be Joe Gomez. And again, like Saka doesn't particularly do well against the center back fullback. He doesn't. So they have kind of like a ready-made formula, and unfortunately, we don't really have the midfielders to make it difficult for them with those third man runs. Like unless Havertz just turns into a special player overnight. I don't think he's going to provide that level of threat. I'm not sure Emil can. I'm going with the double pivot, if I'm honest with you. I would just go with the Jorginho, Declan Rice, and maybe Declan Rice will have a magic moment. Maybe.
I think he might start. I have this feeling because even though Havertz missed a few chances against Liverpool at home, I think overall his game was pretty good and he led the line quite well. I have this feeling that he's going to go with Jesus on the left and Havertz up top. I have this feeling to accommodate the double pivot. That's what I think he'll do.
And then Martinelli against tired legs later on might be the play.
I'm not sure who he's going to start. Klopp, whether he starts with Trent or Bradley. I don't think it's as conclusive as we're making out. I think as Bradley had a really good game, I think he might struggle to drop him for the game. But I do think Robertson will start because Robertson's been on the bench a few times already. Yeah, he has. Yeah, so I have a feeling Robertson will start left back because I think Gomez has actually struggled against Saka. I think he's been lucky for Saka not to have scored or got a few assists the last time we played Liverpool with Gomez. I've got a Liverpool fan friend who doesn't rate Gomez at left back at all. Just thinks he's playing out of his skin, but there's definitely mistakes there. So yeah, I mean, intrigued to see the lineup, but I think you're right. I think he'll go with the double pivot simply because in the FA Cup game we dominated Liverpool. I know they were weakened, but from a structure perspective, we had their number. So I think Arteta will do the same thing.
Yeah, hopefully. And people are saying in the comments, be confident, be excited. I'm like, I'm just struggling. But, it all depends on what those first 10 minutes look like for me. That's all I need to see. First 10 minutes, if we're calm, cool, and collected, I'm like, we can do something here. If they score in the first couple of minutes, I'm turning the shit off. I'm just turning it off.
Oh, yeah, I get nervous when you say that first 10 minutes, but yeah, I feel like it's one of those. Yeah, it's like one of those big games, so you can feel it. So I really hope the atmosphere is popping. I really hope everyone is like ready for that battle. And I think, if we can start the game really, really well and get that first goal or create that first big chance, I think it will be all right. But I understand why you're nervous. It's going to be nervous, but as I said earlier, if you believe, you can achieve.
Yeah. Any advocates for Harry? Go ahead, Laura.
I said that's beautiful from Harry. He's just like, if you believe, you can achieve. And I wish I could embody that, but I'm nervous.
I mean, if we didn't have the performances we've had already against them this season, then I'd be with you guys. But I really do believe in this team as well. I even looked at the first City game. The first City game. No, the City game we played this year. We won 1-0. Not even the community, the one that we won 1-0. We did the Jorginho Rice pivot, and we had Nketiah up top actually to start the game. So it's honestly speaking, I feel like big games, we do the double pivot anyway. We did it earlier in the year, the Community Shield. We did it again. I feel like we, in terms of these games, I 100% expect the double pivot. What I will see, though, is what he does with Kai Havertz, though. Do you start him as striker, put Jesus at the left wing, and then Saka right wing? Because now it puts you in an interesting situation where you have those three and then you put Martinelli in probably halftime, 60 minutes, have that burst. Or
that's the only way. He can't. I don't want to see him in midfield. I just feel like.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he plays midfield. No.
Unless he starts ESR left wing, I don't know if he'll go back in time and do that to give us something different. I mean, I think if Martinelli had a really positive game against Forest, I think Martinelli would definitely start. But because he had just an okay game, I think there's some room for rotation, but I don't know what he'll do. Martinelli can sometimes be a big game in a big game, big player, and has that running power to scare you. So yeah, really interested to see what he goes with. He has a few options. That's for sure.
He does have a couple of options. I like the Jesus on the wing thing because I know he will also help Zinchenko on that side. Jesus is obviously the best defensive forward in the league. We've heard that many, many times. So him on the left, Saka on the right, Havertz down the middle, double pivot. Let's go. Let's get it going. I do think we are underplaying the Arteta Klopp thing. Because lately what I've been seeing from Klopp is he's able to change things really well at halftime. And if there's something not right, he can make those in-game changes and he has a lot to work with on his bench. where I feel like Arteta might have a little bit less to work with, and he's not as flexible. So I would love to see Arteta get the best out of Klopp. I think he did tactically at home, and he was let down by the players for sure. I don't think Arteta did anything wrong in the cup. That was just the players just shitting the bed for some reason. I don't know if it's the white kid or what, but they just weren't up for the fight for real. They really weren't. I get the messaging obviously with the white kid. I'm not saying like it's a bad thing, but we don't play well in them. So I'm just going to say it was white kit tax. And then away from home, I thought we were okay, but we just don't create enough. And I just don't know if one goal is going to be enough. And right now it kind of feels like in the big games, we have like one goal in us against City and Liverpool. So hopefully we can get it over the line. Let's see. I'm going to go through some of these comments. I did get a little super chat. So let's see. Where is it? Why can't I see it? Oh, here it is. Jay Finn, thank you so much for your super chat, says Liverpool has a youth player every couple of years. Yeah, definitely need to figure out what they're doing in order to get the best fullbacks coming from their academy. It's very strange that there's one every couple of seconds, must be nice. But yeah, they do. And I think it's an area for improvement for Arsenal to have somebody coming through every year or a couple of years, but it's definitely not something to be stressed out about. Social Join says, well, when you wear scummy Spurs shirts, how can you win? Fair enough. Football says white kit tax. We definitely did not play like Real Madrid, like I asked them to. I was like, if you're going to wear all white, pretend you're Los Blancos for 1 minute, and they didn't do that. John P says, I want firepower on the bench for this game, so keeping Martinelli in reserve is a great idea. I kind of agree with that as well, because if you have Martinelli out there already, then you have nothing to change anything. Femi,
sorry, it's so rare for people to agree with me. I'm so sorry.
Femi, you're just a hater. You're just a Martinelli hater.
No,
you're just a hater.
You hate him.
I like when people agree with me. I can't be happy.
No,
not when it comes to Martinelli, because
sorry.
Nelly has a cult fan base as well. So, they're coming. I'm going to clip this up and make sure I put this on the internet. John P says, we beat them and it's on playing at home. If you want to be champions, these are the games we have to win. I agree. Neil says, when you make Liverpool defend, they are not unbeatable and you have to take chances. And that's always my biggest concern, is that I don't feel like we make them defend enough. I feel like for the most part, it's us keeping the ball, them hitting us on the counter, being really chaotic, and we kind of get in and around the box, but don't really make anything happen. And at Anfield, that's definitely what happened. Like, we did not create enough. We were good in the battle and the duels and all that kind of stuff when we defended well, but ultimately we only had one goal in us, and it came from one of our best goal sources right now, which is a center back, Let's see. Mad says Harry is the guy, real one. So yeah, shout out Harry, of course. Pranav says Van Dijk is the wall man. Van Dijk is what he is. I don't know. Van Dijk is what he is. Hopefully his ponytail is too tight, his bun's too tight, and it gives him a headache, and he plays terribly. Masalola says Havertz needed for aerial duels because Liverpool backline has two giants. So maybe we will see him, maybe we will not. We will see. But you guys, we are definitely happy to have been able to do this live Cannon Club episode for you guys. I know you guys had asked about it, and so we delivered. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. There's 160 of you guys in here, so make sure you guys smash the likes and set notifications and all that. The next time we will do an episode will definitely be Monday. Have to figure out scheduling and all that type of stuff, but we'll do one on Monday to wrap up things on Liverpool. Hopefully we're talking about a win. And we always put out the Monday post-match episodes here on YouTube. And then you could do the ad-free stuff on Patreon. And then we also do like a Friday vibes episode, which is like an extra thing. So if you guys want to be involved with the Cannon Club, you want to join, you guys can always go patreon.com/the Cannon Club, where you guys can get more content and things like that. And we'll definitely pop in here and there with a live one every once in a while so that you guys can check us out. But yeah, on the way out, like the video, all that kind of stuff. People are asking who was late. Let's see what the poll said. What did the poll say?
Did you actually do a poll for it? Because I
did. I absolutely did. And I won the poll for some reason. Laura got 21%. Femi got 25%. I got 49%, and Harry got 5.
5%. Look at that.
And the weirdest
at
thing
that.
is that Harry was the latest one. He was the
No,
one.
Femi,
Wow.
Femi
No,
was
Femi-
late.
No, I wasn't. I had internet issues.
Oh,
Just nonsense that I would be the one that you guys would think. You guys think so ill of me, and that's not nice, you guys. But make sure you guys, wrong answer. But yeah, like you guys, make sure, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all. Let me get the video up. Why don't I have it queued up? Okay, bye.